be no remedy for it, you thief. For we have found upon you, sir, a strange picklock, which we have sent to the deputy.
Oh, heavens, what stuff is here?
Come your way, sir. Bless you, good Father Friar.
And you, good brother father, what offense hath this man made you?
Marry, sir, he hath offended the law. His will needs buy and sell men and women like beasts. We shall have all the world drink brown and white best.
Fie, sir, fie! A bawd, a wicked bawd. Canst thou believe thy living is a life so stinkingly depending? Go mend. Go mend.
Indeed, it does stink in some sort, sir, but yet I would prove
Nay! If the devil hath given thee proofs for sin, thou wilt prove his. Take him to prison, officer. Correction and instruction must both work ere this rude beast will profit.
He must before the deputy, sir. He has given him warning. The deputy cannot abide a whoremaster. If he be a whoremonger and comes before him, he were as good go a mile on his errand.
That we were all, as some would seem to be, free from our faults, as faults from seeming free.
His neck will come to your waist, a cord, sir.
I spy comfort. I cry bail. Here's a gentleman and a friend of mine.
Now, noble Poppy. What the wheels of Caesar? Art thou in a triumph? Well, say so, Trot. Is the world it was man? Or which is the way? Is it sad, few words, or how the trick it is?
Still thus and thus, still worse.
How doth my dear morsel, thy mistress, procure she still,
Oh, trust, sir. She has eaten up all her beef, and she is herself in the tub.
Oh, it is good. It must be so. Having your fresh horn, your powdered ball, and shun consequence. It must be so. Art going to prison, Pompey?
Yes, faith, sir.
Why, 'tis not amiss. Go, sir, exit thee thither. For debt, Pompey, or how?
For being a bawd. For being a bawd.
Why did imprison him? If imprisonment be the due of a bawd, why, 'tis his right. Bawd is he doubtless, and of antiquity too, bawd born. Farewell, good Pompey. Commend me to prison, good Pompey. You will turn good husband now, Pompey. You will keep the house.
I would hope that your good worship would be my bail.
No, indeed will I not, Pompey. It is not the way. I will pray, Pompey, to increase your bondage. If you take it not patiently, why your metal is the more. Bless you, Friar.
Come your way, sir.
And you will not bail me then, sir?
Then, Pompey, nor now. What news abroad?
Come
Friar?
your way, sir.
Go to kennel, Pompey, go. What news, Friar, of the Duke?
I know none. Can you tell me of any?
Oh, some say he is with the Emperor of Russia. Others say that he is in Rome. But where is he, think you?
I know not where, but wheresoever, I wish him well.
Oh, it was a mad, fantastical trick of him to steal from the state and usurp the beggary he was never born to. Lord Angelo dukes it well in his absence. He puts transgression to it.
He does well in it.
Oh, a little more lenity to lechery would do him no harm. Something to crab that way, Friar.
It is too general a vice, and severity must cure it.
Yes, the vice is of a great kindred. It is well allied, but it cannot be extirped quite until eating and drinking be put down. They say this Angelo was not made by man and woman after the downright way of creation. Is it true, think you?
How should he be made, then?
Oh, some say that a sea maid spawned him. Others say that he was begot between two stockfishes. But it is certain that when he makes water, his urine is congealed ice. That I know to be true.
You are pleasant, sir, and speak apace.
Oh, what a ruthless thing this is in him, for the rebellion of a codpiece to take away the life of a man. Would the Duke have done this? Ere he would have hanged a man for getting 100 bastards. He would have paid for the nursing 1,000. He had some feeling of the sport. He knew the service, and that led him to mercy.
I never heard the absent Duke much detected for women. He was not inclined that way.
Oh, sir, you are deceived.
'Tis not possible.
Oh, not the Duke. Yes, your beggar of 50. And he would be drunk, too. That let me inform you.
You do him wrong, surely.
It was an inward of his. A shy fellow was the Duke. and I believe I know the cause of his withdrawing.
What, I prithee, might be the cause?
Nay, pardon, 'tis a secret must be kept between the teeth and the lips. But this I can let you understand. The greater file of the subject held the Duke to be wise.
Wise? Why, but no question but he was.
A very superficial, ignorant, unweighing fellow.
Either this is envy in you, folly, or mistaking. The very stream of his life, and the businesses he hath helmed, must upon a warranted need give him a better proclamation. Let him be but testimonied in his own bringings forth, and he shall appear to the envious, a scholar, a statesman, and a soldier. Therefore you speak unskillfully, or if your knowledge be more, it is much darkened in your malice.
Sir, I know him and I love him.
Love talks with better knowledge, and knowledge with dearer love.
Come, sir, I know what I know.
I can hardly believe that, since you know not what you speak. But if ever the Duke return, as our prayers are he may, let me desire you to make your answer before him. If it be honest you have spoke, you have courage to maintain it. I am bound to call upon you, and I pray you, your name?
Sir, my name is Lucio, well known to the Duke.
He shall know you better, sir, if I may live to report you.
I fear you not. But no more of this. Canst thou tell if Claudio die tomorrow or no?
Why should he die, sir?
Why? For the filling a bottle with a tonnage. I wish the Duke we talked of were returned again. This ungenitored agent will unpeople the province with continency. Sparrows must not build in his house eaves, because they are lecherous. Marry, this Claudio is condemned for untrussing. Farewell, good friar. I prithee, pray for me. Farewell.
No might, no greatness and mortality can censure scape. Back-wounding calumny, the whitest virtue strikes. What king so strong can tie the gall up in the slanderous tongue? But who comes here?
Come away.
Go away with her to prison.
Oh, good my lord, be good to me. Your honor is accounted a merciful man. Good my lord.
Double and treble admonition, and still forfeit in the same kind. This would make mercy swear and play the tyrant.
A board of 11 years continuous, may it please your honor.
Oh, this is one Lucio's information against me. Mistress Kate Keepdown was with child by him in the Duke's time. He promised her marriage. His child is 1 year and a quarter old, come Philip and Jacob. I have kept it myself. And see how he goes about to abuse me?
That fellow is a fellow of much license. Let him be called before us. Away with her to prison. Go to now, no more words. Provost, my brother Angelo will not be altered. Claudio must die tomorrow. Let him be furnished with divines and all charitable preparation. If my brother wrought by my pity, it should not be so with him.
So please you. This friar hath been with him, and advised him for the entertainment of death.
Good even, good father.
Bliss and goodness on you.
Of whence are you?
Not of this country, though my chances now to use it for my time. I am a brother of gracious order, late come from the sea, in special business, from His Holiness.
What news abroad in the world?
None, but that there is such a fever upon goodness that the disillusion of it must cure it. This news is old enough, yet it is every day's news. I pray you, sir, tell me, of what disposition was the Duke?
One that, above all other strifes, contended especially to know himself.
What pleasure was he given to?
Rather rejoicing to see another marry than marry at anything which professed to make him rejoice. A gentleman of all temperance. But leave we him to his events with a prayer they may prove prosperous. And let me desire to know how you find Claudio prepared. I am made to understand that you have lent him visitation.
He professes to have received no sinister measure from his judge, but willingly humbles himself to the determination of justice, and now is he resolved to die.
You have paid the heavens your function, and the prisoner the very debt of your calling. I have labored for the poor gentleman to the extremest shore of my modesty. But my brother Justice have I found so severe that he hath forced me to tell him that he is indeed Justice.
If his own life answer the straightness of his proceedings, it shall become him well. Wherein, if he chance to fail, he hath sentenced himself.
I am going to visit the prisoner. Fare you well.
Peace be with you. He who the sword of heaven will bear should be as holy, as severe, pattern in himself to know, grace to stand, and virtue go, more nor less to others paying, but by self-offences weighing. Shame to him whose cruel striking kills for faults of his own liking. Twice treble shame on Angelo to weed my vice and let his grow. Oh, what may man within him hide, though angel on the outward side? Craft against vice I must apply. With Angelo tonight shall lie his old betrothed, but despised. So disguise shall, by the disguised, pay with falsehood false exacting, and perform an old contracting.
Take those lips away that so sweetly were forsworn, and those eyes the break of day, lights that mislead the morn. But those kisses bring again, sealed in love but sealed in vain, sealed in vain.
Bring on thy song. Haste thee quick, away, away!
Here comes a man of comfort, whose advice hath often stilled my brawling discontent. I cry you mercy, sir, and well could wish you had not found me here so musical. Let me, excuse me, and believe me so. My mirth it much displeased, but pleased my woe.
'Tis good. Though music oft hath such a charm to make bad good and good provoke to harm. I pray you, tell me, hath anybody inquired for me here today? Much upon this time I am promised here to meet.
You have not been inquired after. I have sat here all day.
I do constantly believe you. The time has come even now. I shall crave your forbearance a little. Maybe I will call upon you anon for some advantage to yourself.
I am always bound to you.
Very well met and welcome. What is the news from this good deputy?
He hath a garden, circumfered with brick, whose western side is with a vineyard backed, and to that vineyard is a planched gate that makes his opening with this bigger key. This other doth command a little door that from the vineyard to the garden leads. There have I made my promise upon the heavy middle of the night to call upon him.
'Tis well borne up. I have not yet made known to Mariana a word of this. What ho, within, come forth. I pray you, be acquainted with this maid. She comes to do you good.
I do desire the like.
Do you persuade yourself that I respect you?
Good friar, I know you do, and have found it.
And take this, your companion by the hand, who hath a story ready for your ear. I shall attend your leisure, but make haste. The vaporous night approaches.
Will it please you walk aside?
Place and greatness. Millions of false eyes are stuck upon thee. Volumes of report run with these false and most contrarious quests upon thy doings. 1,000 escapes of wit make thee the father of their idle dreams, and rack thee in their fancies. Welcome. How agreed?
She'll take the enterprise upon her, father, if you advise it.
It is not my consent, but my entreaty to.
Little have you to say when you depart from him, but soft and low. Remember now, my brother.
Fear me not.
Nor, gentle daughter, fear you not at all. He is your husband on a pre-contract. To bring you thus together, 'tis no sin. Sith that the justice of your title to him doth flourish the deceit. Come, let us go. Our corns to reap, for yet our tithes to sow.
Call hither, Pompey! Can you cut off a man's head?
If he be a bachelor, sir, I can. But if he be married, he's his wife's head. And, sir, I could never cut off a woman's head.
Come, sir, leave me your snatches and yield me a direct answer. Tomorrow morning ought to die Claudio and Barnardine. Here in our prison is a common executioner, who in his office lacks a helper. If you take it upon you to assist him, it shall redeem you from your gyves. If not, you shall have a full time of imprisonment and your deliverance with an unpitied whipping, for you have been a notorious bawd.
Sir, I have been an unlawful bawd time out of mind, but yet I would be content to be a lawful hangman. I'd be glad to receive some instruction from my fellow partner.
What ho, a porson? Where's a porson there?
You call, sir?
Sir, here's a fellow will help you tomorrow in your execution. If you think it meet, compound with him by the year and let him abide with you. If not, use him for the present and dismiss him. He cannot plead his estimation with you. He hath been a bawd.
A bawd, sir? Fie upon him, he'll discredit our mystery.
Go to, you weigh equally. A feather will turn the scale. Are you agreed?
Sir, I will serve him. For I do find your hangman a more penitent trade than that of your bawd. He doth oftener ask forgiveness.
You, Sirrah, provide your axe and your block. 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Come along, bawd. I will instruct thee in my trade. Follow.
I do desire to learn, sir. And I hope if you have occasion to use me for your own turn, you shall find me are. For truly, sir, I owe you a good turn.
Call hither Claudio and Barnardine. The one has my pity, not a jot the other, being a murderer though he were my brother. Look, Claudio, here's thy warrant for thy death. 'Tis now dead midnight, and by 8 tomorrow, thou must be made immortal. Where is Barnardine?
As fast locked up in sleep as guiltless labor when it lies starkly in the traveler's bones. He will not wake.
Who can do good on him? Well, go prepare yourself. But hark, what noise? Heaven give your spirits comfort. By and by, I hope it is some pardon or reprieve for the most gentle Claudio. Good evening, Father.
May the best and wholesomest spirits of the night envelop you, good provost. Who called here of late?
None, sir, since curfew rung.
Not Isabel?
No.
They will then, ere it be long.
What comfort is for Claudio?
Have you no countermand for Claudio yet, but that he must die tomorrow?
None, sir, none.
As near the dawning, provost, as it is, you shall hear more ere morning.
Happily you something know? Yet I believe there comes no countermand. No such example have we. Besides, on the very siege of justice, Lord Angelo hath to the public ear professed the contrary. This is his lordship's man.
And here comes Claudio's pardon. My lord has sent you this note, and by me this further charge, that you swerve not from the smallest article of it, neither in time, matter, or other circumstance. Good morrow, for as I take it, it is almost day.
I shall obey him.
This is his pardon, purchased by such sin that which the pardoner himself is in. Hence hath offense his quick celerity, when it is born in high authority. When vice makes mercy, mercy so extended, that for the false love is the offender friended. Now, sir, what news?
I told you, Lord Angelo, belike thinking me remiss in mine office, awakens me with this unwonted putting on. Methinks strangely, for he hath not used it before.
Pray you, let's hear.
Whatsoever you may hear to the contrary, let Claudio be executed by 4 of the clock, and in the afternoon Barnardine. For my better satisfaction, let me have Claudio's head sent me by 5. Let this be duly performed with the thought that more depends on it than we must yet deliver. Thus fail to do in your office as you will answer it at your peril. What think you of this, sir?
What is that Barnardine who is to be executed in the afternoon?
A Bohemian born, but here nursed up and bred, one that is a prisoner of 9 years old.
How came it that the absent duke had not either delivered him to his liberty or executed him? I have heard it was ever his manner to do so.
His friends still wrought reprieves for him, and his fact indeed until now came not to an undoubtful proof.
It is now apparent.
Most manifested and not denied by himself.
Hath he borne himself penitently in prison? How seems he to be touched?
A prisoner that apprehends death no more dreadfully, but is a drunken sleep. Careless, reckless, and fearless of what's past, present, or to come. Insensible of morality and desperately mortal.
More of him anon. There is written in your brow, provost, honesty and constancy. If I read it not truly, my ancient skill beguiles me. In the boldness of my cunning, I shall lay myself in hazard. Claudio, whom here you have warrant to execute, is no greater forfeit to the law than Angelo, who hath sentenced him. To make you understand this in a manifest effect, I crave but 4 days' respite, for the which you are to do me both a present and a dangerous courtesy.
Pray in what?
In the delaying death.
Alack, how may I do it? Having the hour limited and the express command, under penalty, to view his head in view of Lord Angelo, I may make my case as Claudio's, to cross this in the smallest.
By the vow of mine order, I warrant you, if my instructions may be your guide, Let this Barnardine be this morning executed, and his head borne to Angelo.
Angelo hath seen them both and will discover the favor.
Oh, death's a great disguiser, and you may add to it.
Pardon me, good father, it is against my oath.
Were you sworn to the Duke or to the deputy?
To him and his substitutes.
You will think you have made no offense if the Duke avouch the justice of your dealing.
But what is the likelihood in that?
Not a resemblance, but a certainty. Yet since I see you fearful that neither my coat, integrity, nor persuasion can with ease attempt you, I will go further than I meant, to pluck all fears out of you. Look you, sir. Here is the hand and seal of the Duke. You know the character, I doubt not, and the signet is not strange to you.
I know them both.
The contents of this is the return of the Duke. Call your executioner and off with Barnardine's head. I will give him a present shrift and advise him for a better place. Yet you are amazed, but this shall absolutely resolve you. Come away, sir, it is almost clear dawn.
I am as well acquainted here as I was in our house of profession. One would think this were Mistress Overdone's own house, for here be many of her old customers.
Sirrah, bring Barnardine hither.
Pray, Master Barnardine, you must rise and be hanged, Master Barnardine.
What ho, Barnardine!
Who makes that noise there? What are you?
Your friend, sir, the hangman. You must be so good to rise and be put to death.
Away, you rogue. Away. I am sleeping.
Tell him he must come, and that quickly too.
Pray, Master Barnardine, you must awake and be executed, and sleep afterwards.
Go into him and fetch him out.
Yes. Oh, he is coming, sir. He is coming. I hear his straw rustle.
Is the axe upon the block, Sirrah?
Very ready, sir.
How now, poor sir? What's the news with you?
Truly, sir, I would desire you to clap into your prayers, for look you, the warrant has come.
You rogue. I have been drinking all night. I am not fitted for it.
Oh, the better, sir, for he that drinks all night is hanged betimes in the morning, shall sleep the sounder all the next day.
Look you, here comes your ghostly father. Do we jest now, think you?
Sir, induced by my charity, and hearing how hastily you are to depart, I am come to advise you, comfort you, and pray with you.
Friar, not I. I have been drinking hard all night, and I will have more time to prepare me, or they shall beat out my brains with billets. I will not consent to die this day, that's certain.
Oh, sir, you must. And therefore I beseech you, look forward on the journey you shall go.
I swear I shall not die today for any man's persuasion.
But hear you.
Not a word. If you have anything to say to me, come to my ward, for this will not I today.
Unfit to live or die! Oh, gravel heart! After him, fellows, and bring him to the block.
Now, sir, how do you find the prisoner?
A creature unprepared, unmeet for death, and to transport him in the mind he is, were damnable.
There died this morning in the prison, father, one Ragozine, a most notorious pirate, a man of Claudio's years in color.
Oh, 'tis an accident that heaven provides. Dispatch it presently. The hour draws on, prefixed by Angelo. See this be done and sent according to command, whiles I persuade this rude wretch willingly to die.
This should be done presently, good father. But Barnardine must die this afternoon. And how shall we continue Claudio to keep me from dangers that might know if he were known alive?
Let this be done. Put them in secret holes, both Barnardine and Claudio. Ere twice the sun hath made his journal greeting to the under generation, you shall find your safety manifested.
I am your free dependent.
Quick, dispatch and send the head to Angelo. Now will I write letters to Angelo. The provost he shall bear them, whose contents shall witness to him I am near at home, and that, by great injunctions, I am bound to enter publicly. Him I'll desire to meet me at the consecrated fount, a league below the city, and from thence, by cold gradation and well-balanced form, we shall proceed with Angelo.
Here's the head, I'll carry it myself.
Convenient, is it? Make a swift return, for I would commune with you of such things that want no ear but yours.
I am your free dependent.
He's home. Be here.
The tongue of Isabel. She's come to know if yet her brother's pardon be come hither. But I will keep her ignorant of her good, to make her heavenly comforts of despair when it is least expected.
Home. By your leave.
Good morning to you, fair and gracious daughter.
The better, given me by so holy a man. Hath yet the deputy sent my brother's pardon?
He hath released him, Isabel, from the world. His head is off and sent to Angelo.
Nay. But it is not so.
It is no other. Show your wisdom, daughter, and your close patience.
Oh, I will to him and pluck out his eyes.
You shall not be admitted to his sight.
Unhappy Claudio. Wretched Isabel. Injurious world. Most damned Angelo.
This nor hurts him nor profits you a jot. Forbear it, therefore. Give your cause to heaven. Mark what I say, which you shall find by every syllable a faithful verity. The Duke comes home tomorrow. Nay, dry your eyes. One of our covenant and his confessor gives me this instant, and he shall bring you before the Duke, and to the head of Angelo accuse him home and home. Who's here?
Good even, Friar. Where's the provost?
Not within, sir.
Oh, pretty Isabella. I'm pale as mine heart to see thine eyes so red. But thou must be patient. I am fain to dine and sup on water and bran. I dare not my head fill my belly. One fruitful meal shall set me to it. But they say the Duke will be back tomorrow. By my troth, Isabella, I love thy brother. If the old fantastical Duke of Dark Corners had been at home, he had lived.
Sir, the Duke is marvelous little beholding to your reports, but the best is he lives not in them.
Oh, Friar, thou knowest not the Duke as well as I do. He's a better woodman than thou takest him for.
Well, you'll answer this one day. Fare ye well.
Nay, Terry, I'll go along with thee to lay. I can go along with thee. I can tell thee pretty tales of the Duke.
You have told me enough of him already, if they be true. If not, none were enough.
I was before him before getting a witch with child.
Did you such a thing?
Yes, marry did I. But I was fain to forswear it, else they would have married me to the rotten meddler.
Sir, your company is fairer than honest. Rest you well.
By my troth, I'll go along with thee to Lane's Inn. If body talketh in you, we'll have little of it. Oh, nay, Friar, I'm a kind of burr. I shall stick.
Every every letter he hath writ hath disvouched of it.
In most uneven and distracted manner. His actions show much like to madness. Pray heaven his wisdom be not tainted. And why should we meet him at the gates and re-deliver our authorities there?
I guess not.
And why should we proclaim it at an hour before his entering, that if any crave the redress of injustice, they should exhibit their petitions in the streets?
He gives his reason for that. To have a dispatch of complaints, and to deliver us from devices thereafter, which shall then have no power to stand against us.
Well, I beseech you, let it be proclaimed.
I shall, sir. Fare you well.
Good night. This deed unshapes me quite, makes me impregnant and dull to all proceedings. A deflowered maid, and by an eminent body that enforced the law against it, but that her tender shame will not proclaim against her maiden loss. How might she tongue me? Yet reason dares her no. For my authority bears of a credent bulk, that no particular scandal once can touch. But it confounds the breather. He should have lived. Save that his riotous youth, with dangerous sense, might in times to come have taken revenge by so receiving a dishonored life with ransom of such shame. Would yet he had lived. Alack, when once our grace we have forgot, nothing goes right. We would, and we would not. These letters at fit time deliver me. The provost knows our purpose and our plot. The matter being afoot, keep your instruction and hold you ever to our special drift. Though you do blench from this to that, as cause doth minister.
It shall be speeded well.
To speak so indirectly, I am loath. I would say the truth, but to accuse him so, that is your part. Yet I am advised to do it, he says, to avail full purpose.
Be ruled by him.
Besides, he tells me if peradventure he speak against me on the adverse side, I should not think it strange, for 'tis a physic that's bitter to sweet end.
I would Friar Peter would
peace, the friars come.
Come, I have found you out a stand most fit, where you may have such vantage on the Duke he shall not pass you. Twice have the trumpets sound, the generous and gravest citizens have pinned the gates, and very near upon the Duke is entering. Therefore hence away.
Very worthy cousin, fairly met. Our old and faithful friend, we are glad to see you.
Happy return be to your royal grace.
Many and hearty thankings to you both. We have made inquiry of you, and we hear such goodness of your justice that our soul cannot but yield you forth to public thanks, forerunning more requital.
You make my bonds still greater.
Your desert speaks loud, and I should wrong it to lock it in the wards of covert bosom, when it deserves with characters of brass afforded residence against the tooth of time and razor of oblivion. Give me your hand. and let the subject see to make them understand that outward courtesies would fain proclaim favors that keep within. Come, Aeschylus, you must walk by us on our other hand. Good supporters are you both.
Now is your time. Speak loud and kneel before him.
Justice, O royal duke, veil your regard upon a wronged. I would fain have said a maid. O worthy prince, dishonor not your eye by throwing it on any other object till you have heard me in my true complaint and given me justice. Justice, justice, justice.
Relate your wrongs. In what? By whom? Be brief. Here is Lord Angelo shall give you justice. Reveal yourself to him.
O worthy duke, you bid me seek redemption of the devil. Hear me yourself, for that which I must speak must either punish me, not being believed, or wring redress from you. Hear me, oh hear me here.
My lord, her wits I fear me are not firm. She hath been a suitor to me for her brother, cut off by course of justice.
By course of justice?
And she will speak most bitterly and strange.
Most strange, but yet most truly will I speak. That Angelo's forsworn, is it not strange? That Angelo's a murderer, is it not strange? That Angelo is an adulterous thief and hypocrite, a virgin violator, is it not strange and strange?
Nay, it is 10 times strange.
It is not truer he is Angelo, then all this is as true as it is strange. Nay, it is 10 times true, for truth is truth to the end of reckoning.
Away with her, poor soul, she speaks this in the infirmity of sense.
O prince, I conjure thee, as thou believest there is another comfort than this world, that thou neglects me not with that opinion that I am touched with madness. Make not impossible that which but seems unlike. 'Tis not impossible, but one. The wickedest caitiff on the ground may seem as shy, as grave, as just, as absolute as Angelo. Even so may Angelo, in all his dressings, carrots, titles, forms, be an arch villain. Believe it, royal prince, if he be less, he's nothing. But he's more, and I more names for badness.
By mine honesty, if she be mad, as I believe no other, her madness hath the oddest frame of sense. Such a dependency of thing on thing as ever I heard in madness.
O gracious duke, I am the sister of one Claudio, condemned upon the act of fornication to lose his head, condemned by Angelo. I, in probation of a sisterhood, was sent to by my brother, one Lucio.
That is I, and it like your grace, I came to her from Claudio, and desired her to try her gracious fortune with Lord Angelo, for her poor brother's pardon.
That's he, indeed.
You were not bid to speak.
No, my lord, nor wish to hold my peace.
I wish you now then, pray you, take note of it. And when you have a business for yourself, pray heaven you then be perfect.
I warrant your honor.
The warrant's for yourself. Take heed. Proceed.
In brief, to set the needless process by, how I persuaded, how I prayed and kneeled, how he repelled me, and how I replied. For this was of much length, the vile conclusion I now begin with grief and shame to utter. He would not, but by gift of my chaste body to his concupiscible intemperate lust, release my brother. And after much debatement, my sisterly remorse computes mine honor, and I did yield to him. But the next morn betimes, his purpose surfeiting, he sends a warrant for my poor brother's head.
This is most likely.
Ooh, that it were as like as it is true.
By heavens, fond wretch, thou knowest not what thou speakest, or else thou art suborned against his honor in hateful practice. First, his integrity stands without blemish. Next, it imports no reason that with such vehemency he should pursue faults proper to himself. Someone hath set you on. Confess the truth, and say by whose advice thou camest here to complain.
And is this all? And O you blessed ministers above, keep me in patience, and with ripened time, unfold the evil which is here, wrapped up in countenance. Heaven shield your grace from woe,
as I thus wronged, hence unbelieved go.
I know you'd fain be gone. An officer. To prison with her. Shall we thus permit a blasting and a scandalous breath to fall on him so near us? This needs must be a practice. Who knew of your intent and coming hither?
One that I would were here, Friar Lodowick.
A ghostly father belike. Who knows that Lodowick?
My lord, I know him. 'Tis a meddling friar. I do not like the man. Had he been lay for words that he spake against your grace in your retirement, I had swinged him soundly.
Words against me? This a good friar belike. And to set on this wretched woman here against our substitute. Let this friar be found. Know you that Friar Lodowick that she speaks of?
I know him for a man divine and holy, not scurvy nor a temporary meddler, as here is reported by this gentleman. Well, he in time may come to clear himself, but at this instant he is sick, my lord.
Do you not smile at this, Angelo? Oh, heavens, the vanity of wretched fools. Give us some seats. Come, Cousin Angelo. In this, I'll be impartial. Be you judge of your own cause. Is this the witness, friar? First, let her show her face, and after, speak.
Pardon, my lord, but I will not show my face until my husband bid me.
What? Are you married?
No, my lord.
Are you a maid?
No, my lord.
A widow, then?
Neither, my lord.
Why, you are nothing then, neither maid, widow, nor wife.
My lord, she may be a punk, for many of them are neither maid, widow, nor wife.
Silence that fellow! I would he had some cause to prattle for himself.
Well, then.
My lord, I do confess I ne'er was married, and I confess besides I am no maid. I have known my husband. Yet my husband knows not that ever he knew me.
He was drunk then, my lord. It could be no better.
For the benefit of silence, would thou wert so too?
Well, my lord.
This is no witness for Lord Angelo.
Now I come to it, my lord. She that accuses him of fornication, in self-same manner doth accuse my husband, and charges him, my lord, with such a time as I'll depose I had him in mine arms with all the effect of love.
Charges she more than me?
Not that I know.
No? You say her husband?
Why, just my lord. And that is Angelo. Who thinks he knows he ne'er knew my body, but knows he thinks he knows Isabel.
This is a strange abuse. Let's see thy face.
Oh, my husband bids me. Now I will unmask. This is that face, thou cruel Angelo, which once thou sworest was worth the looking on. This is the hand which with a vowed contract was fast blocked in thine. And this is the body that took away the match from Isabel and did supply thee at thy garden house in her imagined person.
Know you this woman?
Oh, carnally, she says.
Sirrah, no more.
Enough, my lord.
No good, my lord. I must confess I know this woman. And 5 years since there was some speech of marriage betwixt myself and her, which was broke off. Partly for that her promised proportions came short of composition, but in chief, that her reputation was disvalued in levity. Since which time of 5 years, I never spake with her, saw her, nor heard from her, upon my faith and honor.
Noble prince, as there comes light from heaven and words from breath, as there is sense in truth and truth in virtue, I am affianced this man's wife as strongly as words could make up vows. And but Tuesday night last gone, in his garden house, he knew me as a wife. As this is true, let me in safety raise me from my knees, or else be forever confixed here, a marble monument.
I did but smile till now. Now, good my lord, give me the scope of justice. My patience here is touched. I do perceive these poor informal women are no more but instruments of some more mightier member that sets them on. Let me have way, my lord, to find this practice out.
Aye, with my heart, and punish them to your height of pleasure. Thou foolish friar, and thou pernicious woman, compact with her that's gone, thinkest thou thy oaths, though they would swear down each particular saint, were testimonies against his worth and credit that sealed an approbation? Come, Lord Escalus, sit with my cousin, and lend him your kind pains to find out this abuse whence 'tis derived. There was another friar set them on. Let him be sent for.
Your provost knows where he abides, and he may fetch him.
Go, fetch him instantly. I, for a while, will leave you, but stir not you till you have well determined upon these slanderers.
My lord, we'll do it thoroughly. Call that same Isabel here once again. I would speak with her. Pray you, my lord, give me leave to question. You shall see how I'll handle her.
Not better than he by her own report.
Say you?
Marry, sir, I think if you handled her privately, she would sooner confess. Perchance publicly she'll be ashamed.
I will go darkly to work with her.
Oh, that's the way, for women are light after midnight.
Come on, mistress. He is a gentlewoman, denies all you have said.
Oh, my lord, here comes the rascal I spoke of, here with the provost.
In very good time. Now, speak not you to him till we call upon you.
Mum.
Come, sir. Did you set these women on to slander Lord Angelo? They have confessed you did.
'Tis false.
Ha. Know you where you are?
Respect to your great place, and let the devil be sometime honored for his burning throne. But where is the Duke? 'Tis he should hear me speak.
The Duke's in us, and we will hear you speak. Look, you speak justly.
Boldly, at least. But oh, poor souls. Come you to seek the lamb here of the fox? Good night to your redress. Is the Duke gone, then is your cause gone too. The Duke's unjust thus to retort your manifest appeal and put your trial in the villain's mouth, which here you come to accuse.
This is the rascal, this is he I spoke of.
What can you vouch against him, Signor Lucio? Is this the man that you did tell us of?
'Tis he, sir. Come hither, good man Baldpate. Do you know me?
I remember you, sir, by the sound of your voice. We met at the prison in the absence of the Duke.
Oh, do you, sir? And do you remember what you said of the Duke?
Most notedly, sir.
Oh, do you so, sir? And was the Duke a fleshmonger, a fool, and a coward as you then reported him to be?
I protest I love the Duke as I love myself.
Hark how the villain would close now after his treasonable abuses.
Such a fellow is not to be talked withal. Away with him to prison. Where is the provost? Away with him to prison. Lay bolts enough upon him that can speak no more. Away with those giglets too, and with that other confederate companion.
Stay, sir, stay a while.
What, resists he? Help him, Lucio.
Come, sir. Come, sir. Come, sir. Come, sir. Oh, sir. Why, you lying, bald-pated rascal. You must be hooded, must you? Show your nace's visage with the pox. Show your sheep-biting face and be hanged a while. Wilt not off?
the first maid that ever made us a duke. First, Provost, let me bail these men free. Sneak not away, sir, for the friar and you must have a word anon. Lay hold on him.
This can prove worse than hanging.
Would you have spoke? I pardon. Sit you down. We'll borrow place of him. Sir, by your leave. Hast thou, or word, or wit, or impudence that yet can do the office? If thou hast, rely upon it till my tale be heard, and hold no longer out.
Oh, my dread lord, I should be guiltier than my guiltiness. To think I can be undiscernible when I perceive your grace, like power divine, hath looked upon my passes. Then, good prince, no longer session hold upon my shame, but let mine own trial be my confession. Immediate sentence, then, and death is all the grace I beg.
Come hither, Mariana. Say, wast thou ever contracted to this woman?
I was, my lord.
Go take her hence, and marry her instantly. Do you the office, friar, which consummate, return him here again. Go with him, provost.
My lord, I am more amazed at his dishonor than at the strangeness of it.
Come hither, Isabel. Your friar is now your prince. As I was then, advertising and wholly to your business, not changing heart with habit. I am still attorneyed at your service.
Oh, give me pardon, that I, your vassal, have employed and paid your unknown sovereignty.
You are pardoned, Isabel. And now, dear maid, be you as free to us. Your brother's death, I know, sits at your heart. And you may marvel why I obscured myself, laboring to save his life, and would not rather make rash remonstrance of my hidden power than let him be so lost. Oh, most kind maid. It was the swift celerity of his death, which I did think with slower foot came on, that brained my purpose. But peace be with him. That life is better life, past fearing death, than that which lives to fear. Make it your comfort. So happy is your brother.
I do, my lord.
For this new married man approaching here, whose salt imagination yet hath wronged your well-defended honor, you must pardon for Mariana's sake. But, as he adjudged your brother, the very mercy of the law cries out, most audible even from his proper tongue, an Angelo for Claudio, death for death. Haste still pays haste, and leisure answers leisure. Like doth quit like, and measure still for measure. Then, Angelo, thy faults thus manifested, which, though thou wouldest deny it, denies thee vantage. We do condemn thee to the very block where Claudio stooped to death, and with like haste. Away with him.
Oh, my most gracious lord, I hope you will not mock me with a husband.
It is your husband mocked you with a husband. Consenting to the safeguard of your honor, I thought your marriage fit, else imputation, for that he knew you might reproach your life and choke your good to come. For his possessions, although by confiscation they are ours, we do instate and widow you withal, to buy you a better husband.
Oh, my dear lord, I crave no other, nor no better man.
Never crave him. We are definitive.
Gentle, my liege.
You do but lose your labor. Away with him to death. Now, sir,
oh,
to you.
Lord. Isabel. Isabel, lend me your knees. And all my life to come, I'll lend you my life to do you service.
Against all sense you do importune her. Should she kneel down in mercy of this fact, her brother's ghost his paved bed would break, and take her hence in horror.
Isabel, sweet Isabel, do yet but kneel by me. Hold up your hands, say nothing, I'll speak all. They say best men are molded out of faults, and for the most become much more the better for being a little bad. Oh, Isabel, will you not lend a knee?
He dies for Claudio's death.
Most bounteous sir, look, if it please you, on this man condemned, as if my brother lived. I partly think a due sincerity governed his deeds, till he did look on me. Since it is so, let him not die. My brother had but justice in that he did the thing for which he died. For Angelo, his act did not o'ertake his bad intent, and must be buried, but as an intent that perished by the way. Thoughts are no subjects, intents, but merely thoughts.
Merely, my lord.
Your suit's unprofitable. Stand up, I say. I have bethought me of another fault. Provost, how came it Claudio was beheaded at an unusual hour?
It was commanded so.
Had you a special warrant for the deed?
No, my lord, it was by private order.
For which I do discharge you of your office. Give up your keys.
Pardon me, noble lord. I thought it was a fault, but knew it not. Yet did repent me after more advice. For testimony whereof one in the prison, that else should have died when Claudio lost his head, I have reserved alive.
What's he?
His name is Barnardine.
I would thou hadst done so by Claudio. Go fetch him hither. Let me look upon him.
I am sorry one so learned and so wise as you, Lord Angelo, have still appeared should slip so grossly, both in the heat of blood and lack of tempered judgment afterward.
I am sorry that such sorrow I procure, and so deep sticks it in my penitent heart, that I crave death more willingly than mercy. It is my deserving, I do entreat it.
Which is that Barnardine?
This, my lord.
There was a friar told me of this man. Sirrah, thou art said to have a stubborn soul that apprehends no further than this world, and squarest thy life according. thou art condemned. But for those earthly faults, I quit them all. And pray you, take this mercy to provide for better times to come. Friar, advise him. I leave him to your hand. What muffled fellow's that?
This is another prisoner that should have died when Claudio lost his head. Is almost like Claudio as himself.
If he be like your brother, for his sake is he pardoned. And for your lovely sake, give me your hand and say you will be mine. He is my brother too. But fitter time for that. By this, Lord Angelo perceives he's safe. Methinks I see a quickening in his eye. Well, Angelo, your evil quits you well. Look that you love your wife, her worth yours. I find an apt remission in myself. And yet, here's one in place I cannot hide. You, sir, that knew me for a fool, a coward, one all of luxury, an ass, a madman, wherein have I deserved of you that you extol me thus?
My lord, I spoke it but according to trick. If you will hang me for it, you may. But I'd rather it would please your honor I might be whipped.
Whipped first, sir, and hanged after. Proclaim it, provost, round about the city, if any woman wronged by this lewd fellow, as I have heard him swear himself there's one whom he begot with child, let her appear, and he shall marry her. The nuptial finished, let him be whipped and hanged.
Okay, keep down.
Oh, your Highness, do not marry me to a whore. Your Highness said even now I made you a duke. My good lord, do not recompense me in making me a cuckold.
Upon mine honor, thou shalt marry her. Thy slanders I forgive, and therewithal remit thy other forfeits. Take him to prison, and see our pleasure herein executed.
Your Highness, marrying a punk is passing to death, whipping and hanging.
Slandering a prince deserves it. She, Claudio, that you wronged, look you restored. Joy to you, Mariana. Love her, Angelo. I have confessed her, and I know her virtue. Thanks, good friend Aeschylus, for thy much goodness. There is more behind that is more gratulate. Thanks, Provost, for thy care and secrecy. We shall employ thee in a worthier place. Forgive him, Angelo, that brought you home the head of Ragozine for Claudio's. The offense pardons itself. Dear Isabel, I have a motion much imports your good, whereto if you'll a willing ear incline, what's mine is yours, and what is yours is mine. So, bring us to our palace, where we'll show what's yet behind that's meet you all should know.